that they stop it before it does get here.
Texas cattle ranchers look south across the U.S.-Mexico border and see a creeping threat.
What we hear from our colleagues across the border is that it's probably moving quicker than is actually being reported.
They're referring to flesh-eating screwworms that haven't been seen in the U.S. in decades. But they fear the parasitic menaces could be heading north.
It's horrific what's going to happen if it gets out of hand.
60-year-old rancher Kip Dove is old enough to remember the last major outbreak of screwworms. He was only 8 years old when he spent countless days trotting up to sick and dying cattle on horseback in 1973 with a holstered revolver to shoot any animals too far gone to treat with medicine.
All we can do with the wildlife, if we come upon it, is pretty much put it out of its misery.
From 1972 to 1976, a screwworm outbreak in the United States infested tens of thousands of cattle across 6 states. The parasitic fly larva cost tens of millions of dollars to contain back then and was only defeated after a massive eradication effort. Now, ranchers in central Mexico are discovering the dreaded fly's maggots burrowed into their cattle for the first time in a generation. And experts say it's more likely than not that the fly will infest the U.S. again. Fausto Salinas Jr. is a rancher in Rio Grande City, Texas.
It does worry me as a rancher, but we'll see what happens.
Female screwworm flies lay hundreds of eggs in wounds on any warm-blooded animal. Once the eggs hatch, the larvae burrow through living flesh, feeding and enlarging the wound, and the smell is foul. Left untreated, the animal will die.
I want to be optimistic.
Isaac Suleimana, a rancher and attorney in Sullivan City, Texas, estimated his ranch would need at least 10 cowboys to monitor pastures during an outbreak. He only has 2.
Since we farm and ranch, we don't have the available workforce to be checking cows on a daily basis.
The issue has also alarmed Washington, which has halted cattle imports from Mexico and invested millions in setting up a new sterile fly production plant across the southern border, scheduled to open next year. There's already one operating in Pecora, Panama. Biologists at the Panama United States Commission for the Eradication and Prevention of Screwworm breed millions of sterile screwworm flies. The flies are blasted with radiation before they are released into hotspots, where the sterile males will mate with wild females to produce infertile eggs. Carlos Sanchez is a coordinator with the Joint Panama-U.S. program.
They
don't even produce eggs. They're not capable of laying eggs. And the males we release don't manage to fertilize the females. They do produce sperm and mate with them, but the eggs these females lay in wounds are not viable.
It's an all-hands-on-deck effort to save cattle. Today, screwworm flies threaten $1.8 billion in damage to Texas's economy alone, according to a U.S. Department of Agriculture estimates.
It's an issue that will affect every single person in one way or the other, because when you go to the store to get something to eat, you don't get much to eat without farmers and ranchers.